Tales from the Tavern was recorded in front of a live Twitch audience. Hello everyone, we are back with another episode of Tales from the Tavern. How are you all? Welcome to the very last episode of 2021. I cannot believe we have made it to this point. It seems a little surreal, but we have made it through the year so far. So, I'm excited. I'm excited about this group that we have. I'm excited about the giveaway that we have going around. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start right now. We're going to do some introductions, and then I'll tell you all a little about the giveaway that we have going on. So, Her Royal Highness Ray Mayhem gracing us with her presence again. How are you, Ray?
I'm good. Yes, if you are having the prickly back of your brain feeling like, hey, I just saw this lady, you're not wrong. I was on last week, and Luna had some last minute stuff that she's like, I need someone. And it was hours after she posted this, and I was like, something's telling me, like, I need to message Luna. And I'm like, hey, if you need me, I know I was just there, but, like, I'm available. And she's like, oh my god, yes! And I was like, it's scary that I can now feel the need of the show. So, I think I've been here one time too many. Like,
There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Yes, if you missed Ray last week, it's because she was here with the cast of the Telluride podcast. And if you're not listening to Telluride, you are missing out. So there. You should be.
There. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So there. And it's a great podcast, great cast that's being put out under the production of Lawful Grand Adventures. And Kai Ellen is involved, and TT Benjamin, and Rabbit, and Zadkill is also involved in that, and definitely worth the listen. They're only 6 episodes in, so you can still get caught up. It's really nice and easy to get into.
And it's Cowboy Bebop meets like Firefly, because the tagline is that it's a space western for sad cowboys.
Oh no!
It's so good. David, it's right up your alley. You would love it.
I've never wanted anything more in my life than that tagline right there.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
Be still my heart.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Mel, hi. Tell us a little about you.
Hello. I am Mel, otherwise known as Jelly Melly Draws from Around the Space, and you can refer to me using she, her pronouns. I've been on Tales from the Tavern more than once before. This might be my 3rd
I think
time.
so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe one of these days I'll end up as part of the Tales from the Tavern hive mind as Ray has. I'm also in a game. I used to be on Lionhead Gaming, and I co-produced that show before we took a streaming hiatus, but we're still playing the games. So for those of you who were familiar in Song of Rapture, I'm learning what aberrations are for the first time.
Fun
That's an experience.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm an artist, I'm in the TTRPG space, and I like playing games and talking about nerdy stuff with these lovely people.
It's true. And yes, if you go and follow Mel's stream, then you too can become a jelly bean.
Oh.
So.
God, I miss Jelly Belly.
We
heard
all
one,
right.
then they got rid of it.
Oh no.
COVID sucks.
All right, Tom, tell us a little about you.
Oh, hey, I'm Tom, or I guess I should say I'm Midwest Miniature Guy, aka Tom. Midwest Miniature Guy's alter ego. I paint miniatures for gamers and collectors. I've been doing it for too long. And I stream on Twitch every Wednesday and Sunday night. In fact, I'll be doing that after I'm done here. And then you can find me on pretty much every social media out there. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Discord. Just Google Midwest Miniature Guy. I'm out there. And if you need figures painted, my commissions are open and would love to work with you.
All right. And yeah, if you haven't seen his minis before, they are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We got a sneak peek at what he might be working on in January, so we're all like, yeah, we're going to tune in for that. Excellent. All right. And longtime listener, first time caller, Mr. Inktale is joining us for the first time. Hello.
Greetings and salutations.
Tell us a little about who you are and where people can find you around the interwebs.
Well, as Miss Luna said, I'm Mr. Inktale. Well, most of my friends know me as Ink. I'm currently Twitch streamer. I'm on Twitch at Mr. Inktale. I'm on Twitch at The Ink Den, on Twitter at Mr. Inktale, and most of the time I'm streaming Saturday, Sunday. Sundays are usually my D&D days, which, similar to Mr. Tom, I am going to be streaming sometime a little after I get off here. But, as you can tell, I am very shy, so hence the image. But I am glad to be here, and I am happy and honored to be here with all of you.
That's okay. Your image is lovely, and I love it to bits, so that's totally okay with me. And we're happy to have you.
Yep, the image was done by my friend, which, you can always check it out on my Twitter, like who made it. I don't want to do any plugins on this. This is your stream, Miss Luna.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. We are all about the plugs here, so anytime.
Yeah, well, if I can actually get let me look up the Twitter thing and I'll plug it into chat then.
Sounds good. And another very familiar face to the tavern here, David Tilstra.
Hello.
Hello.
Tilstra.
Hi. I was arrogant enough earlier. I was thinking, I was like, wow, this is going to be, I'm in that group of people who've been on here the most, and then Ray showed up, and I was like, nope.
Nope.
not even close.
Yay!
I mean, you're up there, though.
We're up there. I think there was a while that I was ahead of Chris and Shannon. I think now they both have surpassed me, which is fine. It's not a competition. It's just fun to be here.
It's totally a competition.
Oh, well, if you say so. I don't have anything scheduled for the rest of the year.
It's weird. Neither do I.
Well, we've missed the boat on this one, Dan. But yeah, my name is David Tilstra. Honestly, though, but we all need more of that in our lives, to be totally honest.
True, but when you have that and working on a module, it just gets busy.
It really does.
Yeah, it's true.
Super duper.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming on. So yeah, we have a giveaway running tonight that I want to tell you all about. ! Enter to enter the giveaway, and hopefully you guys can see this because the virtual background thing likes to hide things. This is for a copy of Secrets of the Vibrant Isle, which was done by Craig Campbell, aka Nerdburger Craig on Twitter, and Shireen Gilchrist. The artwork was by Gemma Mortilla. I might be mispronouncing that. I'm sorry if I am. And it is a solo TTRPG. And it looks super, super cool. It just came out. It was a Kickstarted game, and had a significant number of backers, and it looks adorable. So basically the summary is you, like I said, it's a solo tabletop, and you play an explorer on a magical fantasy island using 2d10s. You are portraying a character who has sought out this isle on purpose, and you've been shipwrecked on its shores and now seek to understand the mysteries of the isle. So it sounds like a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool looking things and creatures, and the art in it is just super pretty. I don't know, hopefully you guys can
Oh,
see
wow,
it.
yeah.
The art in it's really pretty too. So I'm hoping that if I can figure it out, I'm going to try to read it through this coming week, and I am going to be hopefully streaming it probably in 2021, probably sometime in January. But yeah, so
2022.
Yep, that's the one.
Oh no.
You have to go
we're
back
not
in
starting
time
this
to
over
see it,
yet, are
bitches.
we?
That's how this works.
There's a lot of it
darn.
somewhere.
That mood when you have not mentally moved on from 2020.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is actually March 345th.
I'm doing it on February 31st. Thanks.
Yeah.
Does that happen to anyone else though? Like, I feel like literally like last week I finally got comfortable, or not comfortable, like a habit of writing 2021, and now it's like change it up again. Like, damn it.
Yeah.
Like, that happens to me all the time. It's so
I
silly.
hate
Yeah,
that.
well, when 2020 was like the year that time forgot, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It happens.
So exclamation point enter if you'd like to enter to win a copy of that. I will get that out in the mail to you this week, but obviously it will very, very unlikely make it to you before the holiday. So that is there for you. If you are new to this stream and you've never been here before, the way that this works is you guys are responsible for asking all the questions on this panel show. So, basically drop your questions for this crew in chat, and we have a moderator who will make sure that we get them. We also have the Ask My Question Next for 1,000 channel points. If you've been hanging out for a while and you've got some stocked up, you can use the Ask My Question Next feature, and that will bump your question up to the next one in the queue. So if you know we get a lot of questions and then you think of one that you absolutely have to have answered right away, that will make it the very next question that we discuss. So that's how that works. I'm pretty sure that's everything that I need to go over tonight. So, if you have questions, like I said, please feel free to just drop them right into chat. We are ready and waiting, and operators are standing by to take your questions. And since we, I was going to say since we hadn't gotten any, but then we got one. So, hello, Nick. Thank you, Scry Society, for your question.
What's up, Nick?
Nick. And his question is, do you have a favorite homebrew rule that you've used at your table, whether as a player or a GM?
So,
Right out the gate,
my group does a lot of homebrew among, like, the basic 5th edition rules. So, if this isn't actually a homebrew, please correct me, but from my understanding is, drinking a potion on your turn, we decide is a bonus action, and if you were to give somebody else a potion, like to make them drink it, that is an action.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I could agree with that.
Yeah. I don't think that's the real. I think the rules as written are much more complicated than that, and that sounds very streamlined.
Well, I'm
and
glad that's
nice.
the way we do it, because I don't
Yeah.
know if I can handle more complicated than that.
The only homebrew rule that comes to my mind right off the bat is the way we do crits over it from afar is if you get a natural 20, you get, it's normal, you're supposed to roll the damage dice twice. You get one set just maxed automatically, and then you roll on top of that. And that always makes crits feel a little more exciting to me, because you could get like double damage, or there's nothing quite as embarrassing or saddening of like, just crit and I'm gonna kill this guy. Yeah, 2 damage. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, not funny. That's what we do.
I like that.
We do that too. It is. I agree with what he's saying. It does make you feel like when you hit with your crit, you feel something.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, me, it's just, I don't know. I have two that I don't really know if one's homebrews. One is just basically anything homebrew I bring to my campaign is just stuff that I make. I leave it open for my players. That way, because it's my first actual campaign. But the one that I really like using is multi-class rule, which is basically, I tell my players, until you're level 5, you don't get to multi-class. Only so that way they're comfortable with what they have. They've meshed with it as a party, and so they know, okay, we don't have many healers. Let me actually multi-class into something that could heal, or something along those lines. That way, the party doesn't immediately think, oh, I want to be whatever I want. No, they actually have to think about who they want to be, what they want to fill, and so they don't die.
Smart.
Does anyone else here use the cleave mechanic in their combat?
I have never even heard of that rule. I'm sorry.
I am
Okay.
familiar with it, but the last time I used
feel
it,
like I
I was
know
playing
it.
Pathfinder.
Cleave.
Yeah.
I use cleave at my table because what it does is instead of you only focusing on one cobalt at a time, say there's 3 of them together, and if you do enough damage, you kill one, and the extra damage goes to the guy next to him.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
Suddenly, you
because
could be a fighter.
yes, and it makes combat not so sloggy, because you can, you're in your head. Nobody is imagining these, like, if you have a million little minions, those aren't the smart guys. There's a bunch of them because they're stupid. So, like, probably tactically not the best. So I would imagine they would all bunch up. So at my table, I try to illustrate it that way. Anyway.
I like that a lot.
There are so many different homebrew things that we've done in our game. It's hard to even think of one right now. I know that an old DM of ours, and this might be something he came up with, or it could be in the old rules, specifically for like 2nd edition, where we would have, if you rolled a natural 20, he would have you re-roll to see if you confirmed on that. Basically, you would have to then confirm that you hit the armor class again. Then it would be max damage plus a roll for more damage. So there'd be, if you rolled a second 20, it would explode. Roll your 20-sided again to see if you confirmed on that 20, and the damage would just keep racking up.
Holy cow.
So, yeah, that's one thing that he would do.
So kind of
Sounds brutal.
yeah, kind of like exploding dice.
If you don't confirm the nat 20, what's the damage output?
Then if you don't confirm, if you don't hit on the second one, then it would just be regular damage.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's
Alright.
something interesting that he came up with, and this is like, 20 years ago that he came up with that. So
I just started my first 5e campaign in over 2 years, like 2 weeks ago. So I'll be curious to see if the DM comes up with any homebrew rules that she wants to use. I've been playing Pathfinder 1st edition for the last couple of years, so my 5e is a little rusty, other than an occasional one-shot here and there, which actually is really kind of okay with me because I've been playing a lot of other systems, but I've been doing a lot of one-shots, so not a ton of homebrew rules doing it that way.
I always like just cinematic role-playing, and then kind of the rule of cool. If your character can roll, they should be able to do it. If they've got the skill, they should be able to do it. And even if they don't, if it's not like a major success, even if it's just a small success, give them something. Like the DM that I'm playing under right now, my character had been knocked flat, and he says, if you can roll and get any kind of success, since you have an acrobatics, you have points in your acrobatics, you can do the whole, backflip, jump up, and then, fire your weapon again. And it ended up making a critical success to be able to jump up and actually take 2 shots. He allowed me to take 2 shots instead of just the 1. Because of that, critical success that I got of being able to backflip back up. So, Rule of Cool is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always love when DMs or GMs give players agency to do stuff like that, because it like those moments will stick with you. Like, it's not like you can kill a dragon, you can get a critical success, but like a moment where you can like creatively work with the GM, DM, and like find like a solution to a problem that you didn't know was going to be there, and then like have it be memorable, and the whole table's like, oh my gosh, yeah, you just did a backflip. It's like those. That's like, and it's like, yeah, that might not be in the rule book. Like you have full plate armor on you. That's like 80 extra pounds you'd be flipping around with, but it doesn't really matter because that's really freaking cool. Caught myself on that one. It's really freaking cool. I love that.
I had a DM that would allow us to do stuff like that in our Pathfinder game a while ago, and my character then became known for doing crazy stuff like that. She was a halfling rogue ranger fighter multi-class.
Oh, wow.
And which all like it was all because of stuff that had happened like in her story as we were playing the game, which I loved that he was totally willing to let me work on that, like for that reason. But we had those sessions where like, oh, you rolled the nat 20 at just the right time, or oh my god, you rolled a nat 1 at like the worst possible time. But the stuff that I really remember are the times that he was like, yeah, sure, okay, you can jump off the rampart and try to land on the head of the ogre while stabbing your short sword down. Like, totally, go ahead, give it a try, see what happens. And those are the things that I know I, as a player, always remember. Like, was that successful? How successful? Doesn't really matter. I got to do it, so.
Then kind of on the flip side of that, something we're semi-dealing with in From Afar podcast right now is Christian Spinella, who plays Kippa. He's been trying to get this one stupid move off for like 15 sessions. Like I gave him an immovable rod. He's like, what if I like slid it down into someone's armor and then just like pressed it? Would they just be like locked into place? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna try that. I'm like, well, that's gonna be really hard. He's missed it like 4 times, but like, and I keep being like, I'm like, Christian, when you land this, it is gonna be the hottest shit ever. Like, and it's like kind of on the flip side of that is like, it's really fun to come up with those moments and like solve those problems at the table, but like failing those wild backflip epic moments can also, I feel like, can lead to something greater too. Like, I think it's an interesting concept.
I have a weird relationship with Rule of Cool because I never saw it as, yeah, you do all of this, rules be damned, because all of the really Rules of Cool kind of stuff I see happen at my table still have some sort of mechanic that you can use and reference, or some sort of way that you can justify doing it in game. It's not just like throwing it to the wind, suddenly you have wings burst out of your back and you're flying, nobody's cast fly on you, you don't have a fly. Like, it's none of that kind of stuff. It's still working within like what you've got. So I guess is Rule of Cool at other tables like, oh yeah, we did this and there's no like rule support that anybody can figure out for this, so we just made it up? Is that usually why people have this debate over Rule of Cool?
I think that's part of it.
Mine was definitely within the parameters of, you've got the skill. This is what you'll need to even have a success, and if you get a critical success, this is what's going to happen. Kind of a thing. So it wasn't definitely like, the wings sprout out or whatever, because my character doesn't have wings, so why would that happen? But yeah, it was definitely within the parameters of the rules, but also you've got the skills to be able to do that.
Well, it's also like creativity thrives within constraints. So like if you didn't have the rules to like okay, a monk can do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, you're not gonna have a gun. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen. But if you can find, okay, cool, I have flurry of blows, I have this climbing speed, I'm immune to disease, what can I do with these 3 tools in my arsenal? That's always kind of the way I've looked at it, is like, just given the tools you have what's a really cool way or a creative way you can surpass this obstacle. That's yeah, 'cause I think I'm kind of the same way. It's like it's not necessarily cool. Oh, a tank! We just made a tank, and here it is. It's gonna save the day. That's super cool, right? No, not cool. Yeah.
I think that's probably like when I see the threads about rule of cool situations. To me, it's not what they're describing. To me, it is like a creative way of doing things within the limits, just as you said.
Mm-hmm.
Something I want to actually implement is the idea of like kind of skill points with levels. Like every time you get a level, you can spend your 1 skill point on something, like a language. So you spend 3 levels learning a language. You now master the language. You're proficient in it. Something like that. So it allows the players to say, "Dang, we have no one who can actually speak Undercommon. Wait, we have someone who can learn Undercommon either through the feat of what was it? I can't remember the feat's name. Like the
Linguist or something.
Linguists. Yeah, linguist or with the monk, they have that level feat that allows them to understand any language.
Mm-hmm.
But allowing them to actually anyone to learn anything, such as you're an artificer. Okay, you can spend 3 levels learning how to make a firearm. Doesn't make you proficient, but you can make it and maybe make a bomb. Mm-hmm. And then you spend another 3 levels learning how to use a firearm to become proficient in it.
That's cool. Like a progression tree thing.
Yeah, and they only get 1, so it's not like, they learn it in 2 levels or more. They actually have to spend time learning something.
That sounds like that would be a cool thing to put into like a downtime situation, because I know a lot of downtime sessions I've run have been like, I want to learn Undercommon. It's like, okay, all right, you did it. Like, but if you have like some sort of progression, or like you have to do it 3 times or roll a certain number, that I'm gonna think about that. That's very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, or like I was gonna say, like have them carry a book during their adventures that teaches them something.
Yeah.
What you were gonna say?
I think Pathfinder 2nd Edition has something like that for downtime, I believe. I know there is a TTRPG system that does have downtime level building mechanics, and I also know that when we played Odyssey of the Dragon Lord on the virtual tabletop we used was Foundry. Lion was able to get a module to make like a downtime like skill bar. So anytime we wanted to do something for downtime, we would roll a die, and it could help fill the bar.
I know in the Lawful Great Adventures podcast, Ben has like downtime activities. I think he calls them like camp activities or something like that in the podcast for the cast. So it's not necessarily something that you hear in every episode, like, oh, we pitch a tent. Okay, who's doing what for your camp activities? It's not this huge, big descriptive thing, but it sort of encourages them to take up a hobby or, work on enhancing their armor or whatever it is that they may want to do. But it also makes resources in the world have value, because they need to have resources from the world in order to accomplish whatever it is that they want to do. And I don't know if that's an actual mechanic or not that he was using, or if it was just something he came up with on his own. But either way, I really like it, because I am a person who, if you're going to have, a field of some, herb that's really valuable in the world, well, what makes it valuable? Give me the reason why it's valuable. Don't just tell me that it's valuable and have me be like, okay, I'm going to go through and pick all of it, unless there's a reason that I need it all. And it's not just to turn around and sell so I can have lots of money. But that's just me.
I like that. I think yeah. Sorry.
I know that one thing that I implemented, and again, this is going back a few years ago because I was running second ed at the time, was that if a character wanted to learn a new skill, they would have to go find somebody to teach them that. So it wasn't just, they learn it, or they've been working on this, or something like that. They would actually, I want to learn how to be an archer, or I want to learn how to use a longsword if somebody didn't know how to do that. Okay, well, now you've got to go find a teacher. Well, where do I find a teacher? I don't know, you're going to have to start looking around, you know? Oh, well, you guys are going to be ending up in this town or this city. Maybe there's a sword master there, or somebody that just teaches fencing, or what kind of, sword work are you looking to learn? Or is it, oh, I want to learn how to, I want to learn how, like you were saying, how to speak this language. Well, now you got to go find somebody that knows how to speak and write that language to teach you. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, well, you're not just going to be able to show up at this town, learn it that day, and then go off adventuring again. How long are you going to spend in this town? Well, how long is it going to take me to learn that language? Well, it's going to take you a month to learn how to say these phrases, or whatever. Get semi-proficient in, speaking it. Well, now you got to learn how to write it if you want to learn how to write it. So that's kind of the thing that I use for just again, character building role play for people's characters.
Mm.
True, and you can also implement the idea of like, yeah, you found someone, but will they teach you?
Right.
Sure.
Like, you have to persuade them or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Or, maybe they are a teacher, but it costs you something to take the class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a wizard has to learn a spell with... Yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually pretty good. I'd actually like to see a campaign where it's just technically a school and you're learning things, and you actually have to spend time learning these things.
Isn't that just Strixhaven now?
Yes, that is it. Go to magic school. That's what that adventure is.
Or Fantasy High.
Right,
At the end of this adventure, you'll have a character sheet. Good job, everyone. We did it.
Yeah, and then you can really begin the adventure.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. You are 0-level adventurers.
Yeah.
Here's your school.
Oh, that
Once
actually would
you
be
graduated, you become level 1.
Or at least
And
level 3, because I mean...
You're ready to take
Well,
on
yeah.
Ravenloft.
Right.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so Vertrox Nightblood came in with an Ask My Question next. So Vertrox would like to know, what is the best plot twist you have pulled on your party, or as a GM you've pulled on your players? Ernestus War Falcon is my personal favorite of David's.
Oh, I'm new at being a DM, but I had one that just freaking shocked one of my players. He was playing an Undead Loxodon, and they were in the middle of taking a test to join this prestigious guild. And he went down. But something I implemented is the fact that he was a barbarian, and he had 2 slots of rage left. I implemented something called his Undead Rage, which throws him into a berserker type of mode, but it costs him 2 rage, and he has no control over who he hits.
That's
yet.
very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
And all the while, he gets to experience a bunch of people asking why he killed them. And he has no idea why. Because that's his backstory. And just the amount of, like... Because he literally goes, please tell me you made this into a subclass. No, this is just for you. Oh my god! It was absolutely hilarious.
That sounds really cool. I would play that subclass, like a death barbarian or something, whatever that is. That's cool.
I swear there is some kind of subclass. The close thing to it is like the Undying for the Warlock, the patron? I don't know.
I don't know if I'd call it a plot
Yeah.
twist, but everybody at the table rethink their everything they knew about my character. So I play this adorable half-elf dream druid named Persephone. She is an actual adult, but she's got the high squeaky voice, she's the shortest member of the party, and she's got that youthful disposition, so adult child. And right before her personal arc, she was telling her party about this issue that she had with an ex-boyfriend, and they were like, wait, you had an ex-boyfriend. And through that discussion, they realized that sweet, precious Persephone is an adult woman.
That's a plot twist for sure. It's like, whoa.
Oh yeah. It's like, Yeah. Hang on, I gotta take care of something. I do apologize.
Yeah, that's okay.
You're good. Yeah, I saw Vertrox ask this in the chat, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm gonna talk about Ernesto War Falcon. Then he finished that question with that. I was like, dang.
I need to know more about this. Please and thank you.
So there's a captain of the ship on my show. His name is Captain Edward Falcon. We always just call him Captain Falcon. I know I'm dancing dangerously close on that IP line right there. But so Captain Falcon died in the spoilers. Sorry, Captain Falcon dies in the show, and then we did a charity stream with Good Better Quest a couple months ago, and the charity stream was we brought people from their show, people from our show, kind of warped them into this new world, and they had to solve this problem. And what it was is, so the DM for Good Better Quest would DM one half of it, and then I would play in his section, and then I would DM the second half of it, and he would play in my section. So we had to come up with NPCs that we would play, and through through the whole thing was breakfast themed. So like they were trying to save Duke Denny and Emperor IHOP and all these breakfast places. And so when I wake up in my side of or when I'm the player in his side of the game, I wake up and I start doing the Captain Falcon character, and all the people are like, "Whoa, Captain Falcon, he's back! Oh my gosh!" And then as it kept going on, he ended up being the bad guy, and he was like, "I'm not Captain Edward Falcon, I'm Ernesto War Falcon," and he like writes his name in the sky, and Cranston. No, yeah, sorry. Ernesto War Falcon became Cranston Waffle House, and Waffle House was the big. And so that was a fun one. But I think my personal favorite, probably that we've done was aside from that was very fun. But in Quest for Atlantis, I had a character who is a paladin trying to follow this god, trying to follow Torm, and Torm kept giving him all this advice and was like, "Oh, do this," and it kept being like not super great advice, but like he kept doing it. And it finally got to a point, like a breaking point, where he was like, "Oh man, like I feel like what's going on here? Like, what do you want me to actually do?" And then like Torm like revealed himself to be a evil god, and like the whole thing was this, like the paladin was following this evil god the whole time, and that was a fun one too. But other than that, I just straightforward, no plot twists whatsoever.
I think the one that I enjoyed doing the most was I was running a game that ended up turning into a 12-year campaign, but I was running a game specifically for a couple of friends of mine that one had never played before and one had played very little. And so one was a cleric, and the other guy was a wizard. And so I was keeping everything fairly low-key, and so that they weren't getting killed off every other session. And so I had them tracking down a brigand, and they finally track him down, supposedly, and I had him be completely aware of what they were doing, brought them into his lair, and he revealed himself to be the Prince of the North, who has been trying to lead a rebellion against his uncle. And they were like, "We've been sent to track you down and bring you in by the church." And he's like, "You can do that, or you can join me in doing this." And they were like, and the cleric was like, I'm like, what would your guy do? And they actually ended up joining him in this whole rebellion and heading off to foment chaos and anarchy.
As every good party does. I don't know if they should do or not, but they do.
They do, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It was for a charity stream, but I played a game where the DM would roll maybe it was Sexy Battle Wizards. I don't remember. The DM would roll like your secret and would like tell you secretly what it was. And one of the things you could roll is that you were working for the enemy and trying to undermine the party. Was that with you, David?
Yeah, that was Dev's game, right? For your birthday?
Was that for my birthday? Yes,
Yeah.
it was for my birthday, and it was Monster of the Week.
Yep.
Yes. That's right. I couldn't remember what it was, but I was like, that was so smart. And that was like a major plot twist.
Surprise!
With a twist.
Yeah, literally. I thought of one more.
Go for it.
I was playing in a one shot with Duval. It was with you, Luna. It was the one when we did One Shots in Paradise.
Yes.
With Duval and a bunch of other really awesome folk, and we were going through this really. Stefan was setting up this really creepy vibe, this like whole really intense dungeon thing, and we get to like the treasure room, and he starts describing the treasure.
So good.
Everyone at the table was like, "What?" Like he's describing the treasure, and he's like, and there's a broomstick with the golden letters on the handle, reads Nimbus 2000, and then there's a laser sword. And he describes like everything from pop culture, and we were all just like, "Can we have all of this?" I want a lightsaber and the Infinity Gauntlet and everything.
It was so good. And you could as we all kind of realized what was happening, you could literally like see it come over our face. We were all just like,
It was so good.
Finally, I am the one.
Yeah, literally. The One Ring was probably.
Yeah, it said like one ring to rule them all.
I don't even think any of us bothered to look for that.
Ring.
I mean, did you really need to? You know what the history is.
Oh yeah.
It was dangerous.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was a
maybe
good
that's what
one.
you want. Oh God, Sauron as your patron, as a warlock.
That would be very spooky.
That would make you Sauron.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, is that a
Well played.
is that a
Good
bad
call,
thing if you're
right?
playing for that?
Oh,
I just watched
goodness.
that the other night. I love Lord of the Rings. Oh my gosh, literally.
I know.
That's the movie.
Didn't it just
Sorry, go
celebrate like its 20th anniversary?
Yeah, because it was
20
2000.
years.
God, I feel old.
One of my favorite stories that you hear from like behind the scenes was how upset the male writers of Rohan were that the best writers were female. And like they would get real butthurt at the end of the day when they would like take off all their makeups and prosthetics and stuff. And it was women that were outriding these dudes because like there was I think 6 or 7 guys that ended up like pushing a testicle up inside their body because they weren't riding very well. Yeah. And it was a whole thing. You should look it up sometime. It's pretty fabulous to read about. It's amazing.
I know what my bedtime reading's going to be tonight.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's so good. Very entertaining.
That's strange. I'm holding in my hand like the freaking full book of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like put into one book. Like I forgot how thick this is.
Yep. Yeah,
Like,
I own one like that too.
this, like, that's nutty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good sized book.
Those the Fellowship of the Ring was the movie that made me want to become a filmmaker. Actually, I
No kidding.
love that movie with a undying passion. Undying passion, or maybe a dying Loxodon Battle Rager.
Passion.
Oh yeah, it's just like, and he's relationship issues now. This is just being great.
That's great. I've had a couple of big. They weren't well. They did end up being kind of major to the storyline. So in one of the Pathfinder games that I was playing back in 2019, my character had romanced an NPC, and the town that they were in, they knew that an attack was being planned. They didn't know exactly when it was going to come, so they were trying to, not just my character and the NPC, but like the whole party and, you know, the town officials and everything, were trying to come up with a plan of like, how do we evacuate the town if and when this actually comes to happen. And so they come up with this whole plan, and the NPC that my character was in a relationship with happened to be a ship captain and had his ship in port. And so he was like, yeah, he said, I can just put, like half the town on my boat and we'll just get out of here. And so we were like, okay, that sounds great. That seems like a totally reasonable thing to do. And so the attack happens, and this was when I mentioned jumping off a rampart onto an ogre's head. That happened during that battle. And so my character is off at the city gate with the party, taking on an ogre who's trying to bash down the door, and she's like jumping off the ramparts onto its head and whatever. And as they're up there fighting it, she knows that he is trying to like just get everybody onto his boat and get them away from the docks. And she happens to look over, and boom, the ship explodes. And it was like...
With all the people?
With all the people.
Oh, no.
And her significant other. And, like, it was just... I mean, that was literally what caused her to just be like, fuck it, and jump off the rampart onto the ogre, because at that point she didn't even care. And yeah, it was brutal. And so it sent the whole party on this side quest, because she, after the battle was over, went out to do search and recovery in the water. And she goes out, and like they couldn't find him anywhere. They found like a bunch of other people, both alive and not, and but they never found him. They didn't find his body or anything. And so it sent the whole party off on this whole like mission to see if they could figure out what happened to him. And this was totally a side quest, not even related to the main story at all. But long story short, he ends up having been kidnapped by the enemy that we were supposed to be going after. So it basically led us to the next point. And so we get there, we find him, and like his just behavior is all off, and my character's just like, yeah, something isn't sitting right about this with him. And all the rest of the party's like, yeah, no, it's great, he's back, he's fine, like it's all good. And I'm like, no, I know him better than this. Like something is not right. So we get him back to town. Well, then we find out that not only had his ship been exploded, now he was also possessed.
Ooh. Ooh.
So I was like, God damn it. I'm like, can you just stop with my character's emotions? I can't handle this at bedtime.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, those were two really big but, like, really awesome twists that were thrown in for my character, because it was a lot of this stuff that was happening and the people that she sought help from that caused her to do a lot of this multi-classing that she ended up doing. So it actually worked out really well for her in that regard. So, I mean, kudos to that whole thing. But yeah, it was interesting.
That sounds heartbreaking.
It was. Oh my gosh. I actually started tearing up when his ship exploded. I was like, oh my god. And of course that was a streamed game, so I'm like, don't cry on stream, don't cry on stream.
No, cry on stream. What?
Yeah, your emotions.
Yeah, does it all the time. Come on.
Well, yeah, I do it now if if the spirit so moves. But yeah,
So
at the time it was my first ever streamed game, and it was still really early on in my streaming career, and I was like, I can't stream, I can't cry on stream,
Yeah, I mean, I want to make my players actually get to that point personally, because that means I actually did it right.
Mm-hmm.
I got them invested into the NPCs' lives.
Mm-hmm.
There's been several times when we're recording Quest for Atlantis that, like, if I know an emotional part's coming up, I just cover my cameras. I can't look at the other people. Like, I'm just like, I gotta stay in it right now. It gets heavy. If no one else has one more, I have one more. Sorry, this is my third one. Another one shot we did with Vertrox. We were playing in a off-air game for Nicola the Druid's birthday, and it was just chill. It was just a chill time. We're adventurers at a town. Some spooky stuff was happening. This big spaceship shows up, and we're like, "Whoa, what's this? We got to go investigate." And he was doing such a great job of just like keeping it like really just like tense. And then we get onto this spaceship, and we go in, and he starts like he presses some keys on his keyboard, and then the Benjamin's Bowling theme song starts playing from the Benjamin Bowling one shot, and I was just like. Or the charity event, I was like, this is the best day of my entire life.
That was my ringtone for the longest time, was the Benjamin's music.
It is such a good song, but that was so much fun. Like that little, we're back at Benjamin's, baby.
Yeah.
was nutty. I've talked a lot.
Benjamin's was so much fun, though.
It really was.
All right, let's see. So the next question that we have, this is a very important question that we all need to know the answer to from Great Wolf. Hamburgers or hot dogs when gaming?
Both.
Sadly, neither. Just because I don't want to grease up my dice.
That's fair.
Greasy dice. Just never stop rolling.
Yeah, of course. You know, like if we're true, if we have paper towels, personally, I prefer pizza. Just because, like, pizza's always the party food. But between those two, probably cheeseburger.
There you go.
Because I like...
I've been known to hork down a Whopper or two. Like, right before, it's like, alright, eat quick. Yeah, you guys do whatever. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'd like a Bacon King or a Stagger King. I don't know why. Just I can't have a Whopper or a Big Mac. It's just...
Yeah, whatever floats your boat.
Right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd give a 4x4 animal style from In-N-Out if I could.
Ooh, that's the real king right there.
Yes, with animal style fries.
I would probably do a hot dog because I feel like it's like quicker and like less messy, which is weird because there's only like all the condiments are exposed. How's that cleaner? But I feel like a hot dog.
There you go.
Well, I don't feel like a hot dog. I probably would eat a hot dog before. Anyway, keep going. Talking amongst yourselves.
Yeah, the one time I wish I was you on tea, I could just eat it like a snake whole.
Right. Just, yeah, unhinge your jaw and pop it in your mouth.
Yeah, just like one after the other, like, aha. Party hot dog, eat that.
I think you're onto something though, David, with the whole hot dog being less messy than a hamburger, because I feel like hamburgers are greasier.
It can get those digits all greasy.
Push themselves out on the other side of the bun as you consume it for
That's true.
some reason. But a hot dog, not only is it like contained, but everything just falls clean off as you bite into it.
Yeah. You get
The
the
hot
pickles.
dog's
like,
Grossest
squirting out the back.
conversation. This is the grossest conversation I've ever had on this stream.
Wait, what? This
is the grossest for sure, because I don't like either of those things, and like hearing people talk about them in very specific detail, it's like it's as bad as having the big light on. Like it's just no good.
Okay, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, with the hamburger...
Soup or a chowder?
What was that?
Is salad dressing a soup or a chowder?
That depends.
It's
Is it
dressing.
something like ranch or Italian?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know what? Let's get chaotic. I'm going to go with ranch for this discussion. Specifically for Ray, to alleviate the burger hot dog conversation. So
Thank you.
if
I
you
appreciate that.
almost steaming hot ranch dressing.
Oh no! That ruins it, heating it up.
Ray, I would just like to point out what Vertrox said in chat. Note to self, make Ray fight a sentient hot dog in a one-shot.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
If I get
Vertrox.
like the smell memory of like hot dog, bleh, like absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, I'm glad we've covered this
Garbage.
important topic.
The Sheboygan bratwurst. Here we go.
There's last thing on hot dogs.
Go for it.
I'm a
Not
vegetarian.
comment.
I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat a whole lot of meat. Well, any meat really. But there is this vegetarian style hot dog thing that Nick has reminded me of in chat. It's called a Big Frank. And boy, oh boy, those things are delicious. They're terrible. They come in cans. It's like cans, and they're just in like this like kind of juice. No, they're
Vienna sausage. It's like big Vienna
it's
sausage.
terrible.
No,
Okay.
terrible.
Actually, I
Give
got
it
a
up.
solution.
So Jim the Dim had a question.
I was saying I had a solution.
I
We could just make
used to
burritos.
have a crush on you, David Tilstra. Thanks for fixing that.
Anyway,
I'm here for.
I don't choose hot dogs or hamburgers. I choose burritos.
There you go.
The correct
there you
answer.
go.
That's the correct
That's
answer.
in chat for my quesadillas, who are no longer on the Taco Bell menu.
F's in chat for those of you who follow Taylor from Backwater Bastards on Twitter, that saw her Taco Bell whole big fiasco. That was hilarious. And if you didn't see it, you need to go back and find it. Okay, so the Dimpire, Jim had a question for everybody. What class would you build a character for if your only prompt was obsessed with their hair?
Artificer.
Okay, why?
Answer.
Because you're going to want to find many different ways to style and take care of your hair, especially if you are on the go, and Artificer is the inventing class.
There you go.
All right.
Bard or Druid? Just because Bard for charm, Druid for naturally made shampoos and conditioners to make my hair look fabulous. And it's all
I was
natural.
thinking of the Prince Charming from Shrek. Just the
Yeah.
hair toss. You know, it's the like the fighter class that's obsessed with his looks. You know,
No, that's the noble background, actually.
the noble background.
That's
Oh,
true.
Fair enough. Yeah, but yeah, either that or Bard, maybe a paladin. You know, that's obsessed with keeping his clothes clean all the time, so he's constantly asking the warlock or the wizard to cast prestidigitation on them.
Yeah.
No, that's his god, the god of hair.
God of hair, yeah.
L'Oreal, the god of hair.
Yeah. Goddess of
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
It's like that
Mabel
meme that I
L'Oreal.
saw circulating around at one point where it was Thor with like super long hair and it was like
Oh, yeah.
L'Oreal.
L'Oreal.
Oh,
Because
I
he's
just
worth
think of
it.
Thor. Yeah, I think of Thor, and I think of the freaking Ragnarok. Please, sir, not my hair.
Yeah.
When he gets his hair cut, like, oh,
Stan Lee is coming in with that like twisty. Yeah.
please, sir, please. Like,
I feel like just because maybe I think this sort of BBEG trope is really fun, but I feel like a necromancer would be very obsessed with like looking really like creepily good, you know? Just like, I look better than these things I'm bringing back from the dead.
Well, now that you mention it, for anyone familiar with Dragon Age Inquisition, Dorian is a necromancer. You know, is a mage, but if you follow their skill tree, he's a necromancer, and but is definitely like, you know, like the waxes his mustache and all
And
that.
locks.
Yeah, I mean his hair's short, but it is definitely well kept.
no, the BBEG is just the Saturday morning cartoon from Hanna-Barbera with the freaking curly mustache twist that he twists.
Snidely Whiplash.
It's, yeah. Dean Backslide. What was it? Dirk Dastardly, I think?
Dirk Dastardly, Snidely Whiplash. I think they're kind of like the same character, same type of art, but just a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Says, haha, I'll get that Penelope pit stop this time. Those munchkins will not stop me.
It was really good.
That was good.
Thank you.
Perfect, yeah.
Sorry.
Good.
Anybody else have anything to throw
I agree.
in?
No, I just saw what Lord Richter said, and I agree, but I'm here for that trope. That the big bad evil guy looks really good. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Strahd in tight pants.
Ooh.
Like, that's...
Yeah.
Strahd in
Yeah.
tight pants.
No.
Ooh.
Like
I
just
mean,
like the
I've never
Lord of
pictured him in anything but, so...
Yeah.
Well, that was like, I played a game where we played Strahd, and one of the girls was really insistent to know, like, what his pants looked like, and the DM would make her roll for it. And one time she rolled a 1,
Oh,
and
no.
he's like, well, you got here a lot sooner than he prepared, like, he was prepared for you to be here, so he has, like, pajama pants on, and she's like, oh.
With
That's
duckies
great.
on them.
Oh my god, it's just Strahd looking like Lord of the...
Little bat.
Oh, was it Lord of the Dance?
Yeah.
Yes!
Or that... The freaking tight pants, long flowing Fabio-like hair. His legs move like they're independent from each other.
Very Michael Flatley-esque.
Yes, it's just like, if I was bi. You could grate cheese on those abs. And the pecs.
All
think
right.
his
Well,
chest
we
hair's last.
are about at a point where we're going to stop and take a break. We've already made it through the first hour. So if you have any questions
Goes
for
so
us and you've
fast.
already left them in chat, I have them, and we will start with those when we come back. And if you think of anything during the break that you would like to ask this fantastic crew, then please feel free to drop that in the chat, and we will get to it as soon as we come back also. Don't forget about our giveaway that's going on, ! Enter, if you would like to enter to win a copy of Secrets of the Vibrant Isle, a solo TTRPG adventure. And yeah, it just came out, and I'm really excited about it. You will get a soft cover copy of the book. So I will need you to be present to win so I can get your mailing address so I can get that out this week. All right, that's it. We're going to go take a break now. # free the P and all that good stuff, and we will see you in just a few minutes. Okay, we are back. That was a very entertaining way to end our break, and I am not going to repeat that story live on stream.
No.
So,
Very well.
so if you want to know what it is, too bad.
I'm mouthing it to you through my screen, but you can't see it.
So,
Try and write.
yeah. So anyway, we're back. We're back from our break. I hope you all had a good break. I saw a couple of entries come in for the giveaway. Make sure that you do that if that's something you're interested in. A copy of Secrets of the Vibrant Isle, a solo TTRPG, and that is ! Twitter. Nope, that's ! Enter. If you would like to enter ! Twitter might pull up my Twitter handle. I don't really know. Okay, let's get back into the questions that we have. So the next question that we have came in from Scry Society, and Nick would like to know what are the and then he clarifies. So what is the one most important thing to be successful as a GM?
Have fun.
Yeah.
Just
Have
have
fun.
fun with it. You know.
My second, as someone who's never DM, but I've watched and I've heard issues. Your players don't know what's in your head.
Yeah.
Prep.
Don't. Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of don't.
I was just... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't plan a whole lot. I have an idea of a storyline, and I've got some loose base notes for the most part. Like when I first started DMing, I would write out every single encounter. I would have a planner just filled with stuff of this is what they're gonna do, and this is what they're gonna fight, and this is who they're gonna talk to. And after a couple of those where they're like, no, I don't think we're gonna go to that town. Let's go south. And you're like, I have nothing south. And you just kind of go, well, those plans are gone. All right, you guys go south. it's like a general that says, your best laid plans, work great until they meet the enemy. Your players aren't your enemy; they're storytelling with you. But man, yeah, like I threw a DM for a loop that had been planning a game for like 6 months, and within like the first 5 minutes, I killed the guy that we were supposed to meet to get the quest to go and do the thing. And because I found out that he had a bounty on his head, and I was a bounty hunter. Now what?
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh, okay, well, now we're doing this. So, yeah, it's always, for me, it's have a loose base idea of where you want the story to go, but let your characters tell that story, tell their story for the most part, and then just kind of sit back and watch them do it. And then you're the one that's reacting to what they're doing compared to, them reacting to what you're doing. There's a little bit of back and forth there, but, again, that comes down to have fun and just kind of roll with what your characters want to do.
Yeah, if I had one that's different than that, it's communication, because it works for both the DM, GM, and the players. Because, yeah, as a DM, I would love for my players to follow a certain path, which is slightly railroady, but, if I have nothing in one direction and they go that direction, I'm a little flabbergasted. But, despite the fact of being, a player, I don't want to be told what to do, so you have to be able to communicate, saying, like, hey, this is what I have you guys doing, this is the kind of game I want to be playing, is that okay with you? Kind of saying up the rules and stuff. That way the players have enough flexibility to do what they want, technically, but they're not trying to create chaos, because they know, like, okay, we have a mission that tells us to go to this town and this location. Let's not try and divert and just go the opposite way to see what's back that way. Let's, maybe we'll find something along the way. Or we get lost and like, crud, we were supposed to go east, but we ended up going northeast, so we missed the town. And we ended up in another town. Which, there's flexibility there and there's consequences, but they're able to do what they want to do, and the GM can still be able to keep up. Because you can plan everything in the world, but as you point out, you can't plan everything. So,
and you only
as
really
courtesy,
take it one session at a time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because what you said about, our quest is this way and we go in the opposite direction, we had that happen early on in Song of Rapture. And we didn't do it to spite the DM, we did it because we thought we were outsmarting and getting ahead of the quest line, like a good adventuring party. So we were supposed to go to the town south to pursue a bunch of these goblins that had recently infiltrated our local small farming town. And the warlock had an inn with a couple of goblins, so we ended up acquiring a map for the goblins that we were chasing of locations that had these mithril artifacts that they were all looking for. And we noticed there was one to the west. So instead of going to the town down south to get the this mithril chalice that was important to the town we were from, we were like, there's a mithril sword to the west. Let's go there. Let's acquire it so we take one thing off their list. So whatever that quest we were just on, we had to go in the other direction. and the GM was like, well, but the one session at a time, that's where it's valuable, because he prepped for us to travel and to like finish up the session to get a rest and presumably go continue south when we got the map. But since we said, let's go west, after the session, the DM confirmed, okay, you guys had like a back and forth as a party, so I need to know so I can prep. Are you guys going to pursue south, or are you guys going to go west? It doesn't break an illusion as a player for a DM to ask, okay, what are y'all doing next session, so that I can put it together for you.
Yeah, I'm just more worried like doing it mid-session. It's like crud. Like, you're supposed to go this way, and then in the middle of the session you decide to go the other way, and I don't really have much. I can have you fighting wolves and all that, but, I don't want to end the session too early for them just so I could prep to have them have something. So that's the one thing I'm worried about when it comes to communicate, like saying, yeah, I may railroad you guys, but there is a reason for it. I'm not trying to ruin your fun, but I want to be able to keep up with you guys so you have as much fun as possible. Because unless you're a veteran DM, you ain't gonna get much out of this.
I find the most valuable tool as a DM is to meet the energy of your party. So if you have a party that wants to be goofy and silly and weird, then don't make the tone of the story really heavy and dense and foreboding. Like, you're just going to get mad as a DM, and they're just going to have fun making you crazy. So, you know, if they want this like serious dramatic high fantasy thing, like, I'm here for it. Like, let's do this really deep role play. But if you want to be a chaos trash monster, I'm also there for that. So like that, I think that will alleviate a lot of expectations that a DM puts on themselves, that, you know, create a structure. But I always say let them do the heavy lifting. So like, throw a prompt out there and just let them run with it. And a lot of times if you let them do that, they're going to do 9/10 of your work for you. So
One of
smarter,
the things that
not harder.
Yeah, one of the things that I did in my last session, actually, was I contacted another friend of mine who's part of our Thursday night game group. And I was running my once-a-month 5th ed game. And I asked him, I said, would you be interested in playing the vampire that they're going to go meet? And he was like, absolutely. What is his ambitions? Like, what's he want to do? So I gave him some ideas, and he ran with it. So he shows up on that Saturday night. He sits down at one of the chairs, and everybody's like, who's this guy? I'm like, oh, this is my friend Chris. He's going to be playing a character at some point in time. He wants to sit in. Oh, okay. So once they got the invitation for the dinner for this Lord Dusk, and they show up at his place, which is at a island off the coast of the Sword Coast. It's the smallest tower, and they go in, and Chris stands up and introduces himself as Lord Dusk, and they're like, oh crap, and then like, yeah, I'm not playing this NPC. He is. And they're like,
amazing.
So they have no idea what he's got planned. I have like little bits of information that I've given him, and he has contacted like a whole other halfling town regarding one of the characters, and he knows about this person and this person because he's been sending out emissaries and spies to spy on all of them. And
so cool.
yeah, that was kind of, I mean, speaking of like plot twist or whatever, that was kind of a fun thing to throw at my players. Was, no, I'm not running this NPC, this guy is, and he and I are collaborating. And so that was kind of a nice little shock, you know, to them. And then, you know, we're not talking with the DM. We have to talk. I'm like, yeah, if you want to talk to Lord Dusk, you talk to Chris.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the campaign I run, Lands of Oromar, I basically prompted each of my players, says like, okay, you guys are joining this thing called the Guild, which is a worldwide kind of community guild that, you know, hey, we raise adventurers, we help the world with their problems, that type of thing. Why would you want to join the guild though? And, you know, they would throw in like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like my Undead Lockston, he doesn't know what's happening. He has amnesia. He wants to know what has happened to him. What is he? And so I used that. And it was a shock for my players because they had to go like, hey, I'm trying to heal you. Why aren't you healing? He's undead. Cure wounds and your spells don't work on the undead.
Oh no.
And it was fun when he went into his Undead Rage and knocked one of them back up. Yeah. Which, by the way, he has the Undead Lockston still has to roll his death rolls while he's in this rage.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. So, I'll else be lost to the madness. So, that part's... He's not here, so he doesn't know this yet. So, luckily, he won't know for a long time. But, we'll see.
We keeping you up, David.
No, I No, it is 6 o'clock over here. This is totally fine. I apologize. That was very rude.
We're just
It's
bored.
fine. I just
Yeah,
like
you
giving you
guys
a
are
hard time.
really
That was quick,
boring.
though,
Oh my
Luna.
gosh.
Wait, 6
Wonder you.
o'clock? Where are you?
I'm in Los
Like-
Angeles.
Well, no, like for me, it's just like it's.
Oh, sorry. It's
yeah.
6:30. 6:30. Sorry. So
Okay,
sorry.
I'm going like
Yeah.
I'm in California. I'm going like, wait, what are you talking about?
All my clocks are half an hour slow.
Slightly
Uh,
off the
okay.
coast.
He's in the
Yeah.
part of Los Angeles that runs a half an hour
Just a
slower than
little.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Uh, all right.
Oh, no.
Lord Richter used an Ask My Question next. And so his question is, what is your favorite / most dramatic / memorable time that your players or player threw you a curveball? For example, the PC walks up to the BBEG and whips out a mic and starts a wrestling trash off, getting the bad guy talking and thus talked the BBEG down from doom and destruction.
This I don't know if it's really them throwing a curveball in game exactly. It's just I run something in my game which I make items be able to cast spells. You know, like you enchant an item to cast a certain spell, and I had a lamp that was casting sleep. So the plan was that it would end up putting everyone to sleep. But I have an undead and a half elf, both of which aren't affected by the spell. So like, oh crap, I gotta come up with an encounter. So it's like, here. And that was the first time I nearly did a TPK on my party because I wanted to make an encounter that would be challenging, and I nearly killed them.
Oops.
Big oops.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay.
but it's like it was a bandit kid. Like, holy crap. Anyway,
So, if you ever play at my table, one of the unspoken rules is that if you can work something in that I love, I will let you get away with it. Like, I'm not going to make you roll for it. I'm going to let you get away with it.
Mhm.
And I was doing a one shot, and there was a bard, and the bard was based on Celine Dion, and one of the characters, like they had planned this, and at one point all the lights in the room were playing and go off, and someone's holding a phone shining down on the bard, and they're like, and the nights when the wind was so cold. And I was like, I also love Celine Dion, and they did the whole bit, and I was like I had nothing else. But that was
Yeah.
amazing because I wasn't expecting it. I just thought they would like keep speaking in this terrible French Canadian accent, and like you know, that was good too, but that was amazing.
yeah. 'Cause you're my
I think there's so many, just in stream games and one shots and not stream games, because I try to run a very improv heavy D&D session, so there's like a ton, but the two that stand out in the forefront of my mind, there was one time I a lot of times in my prep I'll write like a little intro and like an outro where like we might get to or whatever, and I try to make it all epic and stuff because I like to write. But I was like in the middle of like reading one of these like outros, and one of my players, I think it was Christian again. Yeah, it was Christian. Like he literally was like, "Stop." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I have something I want to do." And I'm like, "Okay." And he did it, and it like just totally changed like the end of like it literally we were in the middle of an arc, and it added like 6 episodes onto it, and it like made all this other wild shit happen, and people were like sent to prison, and people were like he had to bring people up from hell to fight in heaven, and like all this stuff, and he was just like, "I'm really sorry." I'm like, no, like this is what group storytelling is all about. Like I don't know, like I can't plan all this, I can't plan anything. Like I just give little bits out here and there, and you guys fill it in. Like this is the way it needed to be. Let's freaking roll with it. And yeah, that's, I don't know, I think I love those moments personally when the player and the DM or GM are just like kind of jiving, off each other and just like making up stuff that did not exist before that exact moment. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, just imagining someone with a bard with Celine Dion, someone actually playing, you know what, and they start singing Michael Bolton. It's like, oh. It's like, yes, but no. No, but yes.
But you're missing the point, though, is that they knew it was something that I liked, which is why it makes it so epic. Because, like, the only Michael Bolton that will take me away is if someone does the Lonely Island song about Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Uh-huh.
Now back to the good part.
This is a song.
I love that
Captain
song.
Jack Sparrow.
Get it, Luna. Get it.
I don't think
I
that
got a
was
jar of
curveball.
dirt, I got a jar. Sorry.
Oh, you're
Great.
good. You're good. I guess it's hard for me to know if it's like actually a curveball because the DMs that I play with usually have this approach of here's a problem, how do you solve it? So it's not linear. But what I did do was Persephone used Dream to essentially give our warlock therapy after her PC girlfriend not really broke up with her, but basically like, hey, you got this really important thing you want to do. I don't want anybody to like keep putting their lives on hold to do my personal quest, so I'm gonna leave and find my parents. So the warlock was not having a really good time because it was just her and Persephone as the remaining original members of the party from when the campaign started. Yeah, so she wasn't having a good time, so what I had decided to do was Persephone has used Dream as a way of getting to know people, and she's kind of doing this with like a BBEG sort of thing right now that is petrified, where she has him getting all of his hatred out in Dream World. So she did the same thing for the Warlock, and it was one of those moments at the end of our session where the GM just got to sit down and just got to watch the roleplay of the Warlock getting out all of her anger so that she could have a clear head going into her personal arc.
That's tight.
I saw your treats for kitties, David, and I would like everybody to know that this time it is Daisy enjoying treats on my desk, but she hunkers way down low, so she's just out of sight of the camera right now.
I didn't. Twitch literally was just like, "This is visible to you. Treats for kitties." I'm like, "What is this?" I just clicked on it. So
Yes,
I have
please.
something like that.
yes, I like. Oh, kitty.
Hi, Daisy.
Hello,
Oh,
Daisy.
she's like, no.
He's like, no, I'm eating treats. What the heck?
She's not big on like cuddling and all of that stuff, so yeah. So she was like, "I am only here for treats, and that's it."
Aren't we all?
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes.
So, if you weren't here last week, I am buying a most assuredly haunted house.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I'm very excited about it. But I now feel that I am beholden to have like cats because like scary witchy houses need black cats, right?
Always.
A friend of mine today just introduced me to what a Highland Lynx is. Have you ever seen this? It's like a Maine Coon, except it looks like a lynx and it has like a bobtail, and it's just this monstrous cat. And I'm like, wouldn't that be amazing if I was like my life dream is becoming the village witch, and I'm real close right now. So
Oh man, how cool would that be to have like?
best house on Halloween, kids stay out of my yard because they think I might eat them.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm trying to find like what the cat. There's a cat that. So it was like a savant or something. It's a wild cat, but its ability to just turn almost 180 degrees.
Oh
with its
yeah,
body,
yeah, yep.
It's like, or it's like, I can't remember what it's called. It sounds like savant or something.
Savannah.
Which is like it. Okay, yeah, but
Basically
it's somewhere
looks
in
like
Africa.
a mini tiger sort of, or a mini leopard sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you think it was a normal cat, but like no, it's a wild. Like oh,
And
they're so stretchy. and
they're
springy.
fairly tall.
Like the
Yeah.
size of like dogs, big dogs.
Holy cow.
Yeah. They're
Got us on this tangent, but I'm not because
No,
there
85
was Kitty.
there was kitties involved.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so
Then-
back to the question at hand.
Now back to the good part.
Yeah.
back to basics.
What do you got, Luna?
Nope. I didn't know if anybody else had an answer about curveballs that were thrown by players for DMs.
Oh. I was just going to talk about Ray being the town witch again, but
Yes,
I mean,
please
that would not be a very big curveball, David.
no, that's a straight shot bullseye right there.
right down the middle,
Yeah.
baby.
Got it.
Yeah, and I can't talk about any other curveballs because they have yet to happen. We're still early in the campaign.
Maybe tonight. Maybe you'll get one tonight.
So what were
Yeah,
you
and
gonna
I-
say, David?
Oh, I just love the idea of there being a story about you, like in the future, sort of like Sandlot style, where like you have this like witch house and like a
That
group
was-
of people are like playing.
I need a Hercules.
Yeah, you just
But
need like
I
a
want
big
it to
dog.
be this monstrous cat, like
Mhm.
this giant cat that eats children.
But the part
But-
the trick is you're actually terrified. Like, Hercules in your story actually does eat children.
Yes, yes. I am going. My village witch flavor is very Baba Yaga. Like,
So John Wick.
I really like. My mantra is do no harm but take no shit, and I really want that to be what radiates. Is like, you know.
I love that.
Holy moly!
Yep.
Sorry,
These
this
cats
is
are-
photos
cats are
being shared in the
Yeah, we're
Discord
sharing
chat here.
pictures of cats and houses in the
Yeah.
group
Yes.
chat.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
I just
Ray.
posted one of the Savannah so everybody could see it. I think Ray, that would probably suit your needs too. So
Yeah.
I would agree. I also love that Maine Coons kind of look like Ron Perlman.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's also up for consideration. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I could just imagine Ray whispering, says, "Poor unfortunate souls."
Oh yeah.
Only it's like not the sea, it's the house witch.
The house switch. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Make
that's
it
a,
happen, Ray. Make it happen.
That's a pretty awesome
Well,
house too.
Thank you. Yeah, I
That's a
dropped
beautiful
pictures
house.
in our chat. There's lots of rooms, and it's an Amtrak stop. So if anyone wants to come visit,
I've already claimed
down.
the room and I'm going to decorate it so everyone knows that it's mine.
And you know what, Luna, you go right ahead. There's plenty of them. Go right ahead.
Well, congratulations. That's
Yeah,
super
well-
exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is my current home is 750 square feet, and this one is 3,400.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Big
I've
upgrade.
never lived in a house this big, and I have a dog
Amazing.
that's half Malinois and half Bull Terrier. And I'm just gonna let him, because it's an old house, so there's servant steps. So he's
Yeah.
gonna just make a circuit through the house, and
Nice.
like, I kind of want to
Oh,
put a
that is-
Fitbit on him and see how far he goes.
Yes.
Do it. You know what? You
Yeah.
should also get one of those like cameras that you can put on the collar and
Oh, yeah.
and like
Well, we're
Yeah.
already joking that like Theodore will befriend the house ghosts and be like, "Hello, floating lady, please pet me." Like,
You see him over there getting like pet by
No.
something. What is that?
Yeah.
all of a
And then-
sudden he's like in this weird position and his foot
Yeah.
starts going and
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, that's just the friendly house ghost Pearl."
That's just
Pearl.
it's just Meredith. You know?
Yeah. Better than having the ghost of Amelia Bedelia.
I mean, that's
Oh.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine an entire campaign, the BBEG, just trying to stop Amelia Bedelia from screwing up the entire town with her literalisms?
I mean, I would play that. I would play
That
that
does
game.
sound fun.
I used to love
Agree
Amelia
that photo
Bedelia.
you
I would love
posted
to
of
be
the,
like-
Warlock of Amelia Bedelia.
Yeah, it's they're like, oh, it's raining cats and dogs. Oh, the animals!
Just cats and dogs literally everywhere.
Everywhere.
Better than saying baby shower.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Because
Triggered
Yeah,
because
well,
I already don't like showers, and I'm offended by the fact that I was born with ovaries and or identify as female, that I have to be held captive for a Sunday afternoon and watch people open presents as adults. I don't like it. That's my stance on showers.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now you know, don't invite Ray to any of your showers.
No, invite me. Don't expect me to come because I buy good gifts. I will Amazon you a present, but don't expect me to show up.
That's fair.
What about a birthday party, though?
Is it mine?
Yours or like whoever's?
A party
you say
is
showers
different
are
than
different.
a party is different than a shower.
That's true.
See, Mel agrees. It is totally different. If you've never been to a wedding shower or a baby shower, you don't understand. And men
There's
can't
a
be
wedding
like,
shower?
oh yeah, bridal shower.
Vertruck says already modified the one
that.
shot. It's a baby shower, and then the party has to fight a sentient hot dog.
Yes, Bertram. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna add in that the minions that for the hot dog has to be Vienna sausages.
I'll be in a can of whoop ass,
Giant
making
hot
it
dog.
literal.
Oh gosh.
Grease
Oh, man.
oozes.
Grease. Oh no. Oh.
Yeah. It's grease lightning.
Condiments would make good oozes too. Yeah, Lord Richter. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I just
my
wanted to say
goodness.
that for Ray though, she posted a photo of that stairwell with the chandelier.
Right?
Mhm.
So cool.
Wow,
beautiful.
that is
I
awesome. I
love
mean,
it.
I already I've got ideas for that just for a game. It's like,
Uh huh.
Oh,
Everybody's
And
gonna
you
be like,
get-
Ray, send us pictures of your house. I need an idea for a building in my game.
Okay, so
Send us a floor
God.
plan. We'll make a map.
absolutely,
Oh god.
absolutely. There it is. The first house I've been in that still has a private there's a master suite. So there's a private bath, a boudoir, and then the bedroom.
Wow.
is that
Wow.
like an old Victorian? Because that's kind of what it reminds me of.
It was built in 1903.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's technically
Beautiful.
an American four-square, but it has a turret on one of the sides. It is a beautiful house. I have to get pictures in the daytime, but there's 35 stained glass windows in it.
Holy
It's
cow.
Wow.
it's beautiful. It's gonna be haunted as shit, but you know what? I'm okay with that. And I embarrassed my partner so badly because we're walking through this place with a lady whose name is Peggy, who is a real estate agent who looks exactly the way that you're picturing her right now. And
I'm picturing Peggy Hill from King of the Hill. That's what.
Mhm.
kind of like that, and she's got a West Virginia accent, so she talks like this.
Okay.
So we're walking
Yeah.
through this house, and I'm like, "Oh, house spirits, I love your house." And my partner's like, "Shut up! She's gonna think you're crazy. We're not gonna be allowed back in here. Shut up!" And, then she ended up being like, "Oh, we lived in a haunted house," and I was like, "Ha."
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
love the fact that we're now just based around Ray's house, and Ray could literally use the hot dogs, the banana sausage. Literally, we're just giving ingredients for an entire campaign here.
Yeah.
And either
Yeah.
Ray's going to be a part of it, or she's going to be running it.
So yes, if you need any inspiration, everything that we have said tonight is available for use. You just have to join
Yeah.
the Tales from the Tavern Patreon. No, I'm kidding.
Good
No,
plug.
she's not.
But I'm not.
Do it.
But
Do
I
it.
am,
Join.
but not really. You should just do it anyway. Yeah. So anyway, we have about reached the end of our evening. So yeah, I know we need to start doing wrap ups, and we need to do a giveaway and all of that good
Giveaway.
stuff. So why don't last minute any entries for the Secrets of the Vibrant Isle? There it is. There we go. Now you can see it a little better.
Indeed.
Solo TTRPG giveaway. You will get a copy of the soft cover book. So feel free to enter that, ! Enter. And while we get in any last minute entries on that, let's go around again and have everyone remind us of who they are and where we can find them on social media. And David, we're going to start with you this time.
All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This has been a blast and a half. My name is David Tilstra. You can find me at David Tilstra on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. But you can find my work. That sounds weird to say it that way. You can find the podcast that I help out making, Quest for Atlantis, at From Afar Podcast on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. And yeah, just thank you so much, Luna, and thank you so much, everyone else. This has been eye-opening about hot dogs and just a good time. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. And it's always a pleasure to have you and to get to hang out. And I'm glad it worked out that we could spend some time together before the holidays. All right, Ink.
Yes. Thank you all for coming tonight. I am Mr. Inktale. You can find me here on Twitch at the Ink Den or on Twitter at Mr. Inktale. I do have a YouTube channel, but that's mostly just where I put my own streams. It's also called the Ink Den, and you can find me there. And I am so happy to have actually gotten to join something like this, because though it's my first time, I am absolutely amazed at how much relaxed it is. It's better than being in one of those very formal kind of, oh yes, kind of conversations where you have to know your crap. It's like, about that. You don't know that? Oh, such plebeians. Anyway, moving on.
Yes, well, thank you for coming on tonight. It was great to have you on and, get to know you a little bit. So
again.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you for coming to hang out. Tom.
Yeah, I am Tom, aka Midwest Miniature Guy, or vice versa, whatever you would like to find me. You can find me on just about every social media out there. I paint miniatures for gamers and collectors, and I think starting over the Christmas break, I'm going to put together the Millennium Falcon and paint it on stream, starting in January. So if you want to watch me go insane painting the Falcon, you can do that. I'm going to be, I don't know if, I'm hoping this is cool with Luna, but I'm going to be on right after Luna painting minis on my Twitch stream as well. So if you want to hop over from there over to mine, I would greatly appreciate it. I always love having more people stop in and ask questions about mini painting because I love to teach it. It's just relaxing for me. And
We'll have
if you're also interested in having any commissions done, I am taking commissions for mini painting as well. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, or you can email me at midwestminiatureguy@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on and hanging out. Yes, the Millennium Falcon was what we got the preview of before the stream, so we were all like, oh my gosh, we need to see this happen.
It looks like it's going to be big, too. It's going to be like this. Should be fun.
All right. So let's go to Mel.
Hi, I'm Mel. You can find me on my handle Jelly Melly Draws here on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and even on Coffee. I am an illustrator. I do take commissions. They are currently closed, and coming in 2022, I will start making blog posts on Coffee relating to my experiences as a self-taught artist, ADHD artist, TTRPG, just things that I would make a ton of Twitter threads about if the algorithm wouldn't suppress them and have them all in a nice, organized space.
Oh man.
Silly Twitter algorithm, whatever.
Twitter's the worst.
Yeah, and yet we're all on it all the time.
Yet we can't not. Yeah. I've posted like 16 times just during this show.
It's like you owe us your soul.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no.
You are all tied to the algorithm.
Well, Mel, thanks for coming on and hanging out tonight. It was nice that it worked out schedule-wise, because usually you're playing D&D tonight. So, yeah, I'm glad that you got to come on and hang out. Ray Mayhem.
That's me.
It is you.
Ray Mayhem.
Our savior. Our savior for the night.
Patron saint of fuckery and shenanigans.
And
I am Ray Mayhem everywhere. If you are not currently listening to Telluride, it's an Orbital Blues roleplay podcast. You should. Orbital Blues is a really fun indie game that, as I said before, is taglined a space western for sad cowboys. So it's very exciting. I play the ship's captain, Anne Bonny, and she is just great. I I paint minis, but not as good as your boy, so probably to get commissions from him, not me. Resident village witch, and I am actually starting because we're going to be restoring the home that we're moving into and doing historical preservation work on it. So I'm starting a blog that's called It Might Be Haunted.
Nice.
And watch for that link to go live. And if you want to come stay in my probably haunted house and or like DIY project, hit me up because I'll put you to work. And I'm a really good cook. I'll feed you too.
Sweet. I love it.
I'd love
the
to be
Ray
there. I'd like
Mayhem
to bring-
bed and breakfast.
I know.
Yeah.
The bed and
yes.
breakfast is called It Definitely Might Be Haunted.
Might be
Ah,
haunted
yes.
hotel.
Yes.
Excellent.
Eh,
All right. Well, we need to draw a giveaway winner. So, last call, ! Enter.
Let's go, folks.
Let's go. Let's see.
Good luck to everyone.
Mhm.
to see you.
Give it another second just in case.
I gave myself an earworm and now I'm really upset about it because all I can think about is that Celine Dion song.
Which one?
It's all coming back to me.
Okay, that one.
Baby.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm closing the entries. And the winner is dun dun dun. Ray freaking Mayhem.
No
Oh my
way.
god.
Get it.
Truly a wit.
I've
Truly.
You cast a
never
spell
won
on
that one time ever.
What magic have you casted, Ray? What have you done?
Rigged.
Rigged.
Ray, I will get this in the mail to you this week.
Thank you.
Oh yeah! Congratulations.
And if she can't do that, she'll bring it in April.
It's true.
Yeah, you can bring it with you in April.
Right? Yeah. When we do
Oh, you
the
just run the stream
100th
there.
episode of Tales from the Tavern from your dining room.
Live from my
Oh, yeah.
Live
Yes.
from your dining room. In your
Live
definitely
from
not
New
haunted
York.
dining room.
I just want to sit on those steps. Underneath the chandelier.
but not the back steps. Those are murder steps.
Yeah.
Someone
Oh,
definitely broke their neck falling down those steps.
Oh,
Oh
god.
no!
And if you bring drinks, you can have a podcast called Spirits and
Spirits and
Spirits and spirits.
Experience, yes.
All right. Well, let's in the meantime, we're going to go say hello to Todd Bootbounce because Todd
Oh, yeah.
is currently streaming a Star Wars game right now, and I am excited because I'm going to be playing a one-shot on Todd's channel on January 4th. I'm super excited. It's totally out of the realm of normal for me. It is a horror sci-fi. So, yeah, I'm
That's
really,
nice.
really excited. I think I'm going to play a Marine, which is even better. So, yeah, we're playing Mothership. So, it will be fun. So I am Gamer Mom Luna. This has been Tales from the Tavern. We are taking next week off to celebrate Christmas, so we will not be here again until 2022. So look for us again.
A whole year.
We'll be here in a whole year, so I will see you all next year.
See you next year.
just imagine this was $29.99. Good God, the amount of dad jokes you could produce.
Right? I know.
See you next year. See you later. See you next millennia. See you next century.
Right? And so yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay healthy. I feel like I should do like end of the year credits. So yeah, we'll do all that stuff. Thank you to Kai Ellen, who provides all of the music for this stream. He does all of the intro music and the music that you hear in the background. Thank you to all of my Tavern patrons who support me via Patreon and make it possible for me to get things like updated emotes and new artwork for the channel and all that good stuff. If you are not a Patreon supporter and you would like to be, you can look up, I believe it's LLR Tales from the Tavern on Patreon, and you can find us all there. So we will see you all in January, and have a great rest of your December. Stay safe and healthy, and we will see you all in the new year. Have a great
Christmas, everybody.
Happy holidays!
Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Tales from the Tavern. You can catch this podcast recorded live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/GamerMomLuna. All of our questions come directly from chat, so we never really know what to expect when we go live. If you ever have a question or would like to add something to the conversation, feel free to reach out on Twitter at GamerMomLuna and use the hashtag TFTT. You may just get to hear it answered. Thanks so much.